Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Oz Warfare Gaming. Today we are going to be doing a review or a showcase or an overall explanation of every soldier variation in Wolfenstein The New Order and Wolfenstein New Colossus. Now, I haven't played Wolfenstein Youngblood because I just haven't played the game yet, so I will not be explaining any of the soldiers seen in that. And I also won't be explaining anything seen from the beginning of the New Order or Wolfenstein the Old Blood, because I may leave that for a separate video, or just because I may just not do it. I didn't really feel interested in doing World War II stuff today. Now, just as well, I will only be including stuff up to Super Soldaten, so that is like the limit, so I will not be including the Machine Man. It's just Super Soldaten, Uber Soldaten, and the lower ranks of troops. So first of all, we have the standard 1960 Soldat equipped to the STG 1960. At least this is the European version. We'll get onto the other continents later. These guys are used in the SS primarily, but also used in the GIs and just general infantry, and I'm pretty sure they're probably in North America as well, but we only ever see this variation in Europe. Next up we have the Commando, which is also equipped to the STG 1960, and this one has an open face helmet design, equipped with the standard star helm, and it's predominantly less armoured than the normal Soldaten, but that's because these guys are deployed in like stealth strikes or just overall policing. Next up we have the officers, or Offiziers, as they say in German. These guys are SS, and they are primarily located everywhere across Europe as a main kind of centralisation for the units in the area, and they're able to access the comms on all of the other soldiers' helmets, and overall they're just there to keep control of the soldiers in the area. Next up we have the Raketen Soldaten, or the Rocket Troopers. These guys possess the STG-90, which is a version of the STG-1960 equipped with an underslung rocket launcher. These guys have a very much more protective stance. They can't run due to the heavy bulk of their armour, and also they have a heavy power pack to hide rockets and also conceal their backs because they're very slow moving. Also protected by a face grille, a headlight making them look a bit like a miner, and also a face guard to protect from shrapnel in case they shoot a rocket too close to themselves. Next we have the Afrika Korps troops, or the Gibraltar Truppen. These guys are used on fighting on the South African front. We see them in the New Order getting transported from Spain into Morocco by the Gibraltar Bridge. These guys are SS as well, and they are primarily used on actual frontline war zones, and I would think that similar looking troopers are used in the war against the Mongolian territories. That is not covered in the games and is only covered by a couple of newspapers you can find in and out of, well, a couple of the games. Next up we have the North American Trooper. Now these guys are a lot less lightly armoured than the European GI. This is because in America there is a lot more resistance against the Nazis, so therefore they need to be faster moving. They're also equipped with the STG 1960, and I'm pretty sure this variation also appears in France as well, because there's also a French resistance still. Next up is the North American Commander. These guys wear, again, slightly lighter uniforms than their European counterparts. They're still SS, and they still fill primarily the much same role. Next up we have the European Super Soldaten. These guys are equipped with an MG60. I'm pretty sure they are SS. They possess a very protective face guard, very protective clothing for their cyborg or genetically enhanced soldiers. They are created by General Death's Head, as explained in Wolfenstein The New Order. They are also genetically enhanced, as I said, to make themselves very strong, fast, and generally good guard units, and they've been deployed all across Europe. Next up is the North American Super Soldier. So these guys have been deployed all across North America, primarily because they are better than the European Super Soldier in being faster. But they're also more lightly armoured, as most North American units are, because I say there is a larger resistance in North America than in Europe, so they need to be able to get to different fronts quickly. These guys are also SS. They have been deployed all across North America, as I say, and they're used primarily for guard duty. Next up is the Übersoldaten. These guys are used as the primary guard units, as sentinel units to detect intruders. They're used to patrol because they have teleporting technology. If you want to know more about these guys, you can check out in my video I've done dedicated to them. Next up we have the Prison Commando, or the Totenkopf Kommandoenheiten. These guys are used to acquire prisoners. We see them in the New Order forcing some inmates into a truck from the SS control block to drive them to Eisenwald prison, and they're in between the standard guard and the riot guard in having some slightly heavier armour, but not as heavy as the riot guard. They're also equipped with the standard STG 1960. Next up is the standard prison guard, or Aufschutz. Also equipped with the STG 1960. These guys are very lightly armoured, only possessing a helmet and general combat clothes. They are also part of an SS unit, which I have seen the insignia before, but I cannot to this second remember what exactly it is. But overall, they're very lightly armoured, but they're constantly paired up with riot patrol units, so when you come across them, they're not just lightly armoured. These guys also come in two variants, one with a standard star helm, and one with the aforementioned helmet, which covers most of the face. Next up we have the Prison Firetrooper, or Aufschutz Führersoldaten. These guys are equipped with combat shotguns, and they are much heavily armoured. They are equipped with scuba gear, although I'm pretty sure this is just respirators in case they're caught in explosions, and also just to generally protect them from hazardous environments. They're also equipped with fuel tanks or oxygen tanks on the back, and it looks like they have some kind of chainmail below their clothes to keep them safe in case if the ammo which is stored externally for their shotguns explodes. Next on to Navy Troopers. So first we'll have the Führersoldaten, which is the Navy version or primary version of the prison fire trooper. These guys are yellow in colour opposed to the grey and white of the prison's fire trooper. They also wield the shockhammer shotgun, and the only deviation they have from the prison's ones is their colour. The standard Navy Trooper, they come in two variants, one with a small hat and the other with the more protective version. That has a very strange shape. I'm not very sure how to describe it, but it's quite similar, or at least the top part is very similar to the prison guards, so I assume it's there for basically just protecting the wearer from any projectiles, or to prevent them from falling objects. As if they're in a submarine, as we see, they can fall apart, stuff can fall off, and it may just be for general protection. These guys are also equipped with the STG 1960, and they're seen aboard the Eva's Hammer, and that is the only place you ever see them in any Wolfenstein games. Right, so moving on to the moon, we have the Wildhumariner-Soldaten. These guys are the standard soldiers for the Nazi Moon Force, or the Space Marines, not to be confused with Warhammer Space Marines. Sorry. These guys are, I don't think they're SS, I think they are a band of their own, and they are primarily used to protect the research facilities the Nazis have got on the moon. They are protected with pressurised suits, although we never actually see them walking on the surface, because that's used by drones, and more bulkier suits, so I assume these guys are supposed to stay inside of the moon base, but they can go outside, I'd say for only a limited time. They're equipped with the Laser and Sturmgewehr 66, which is the gun we get to use in Wolfenstein the New Order whilst fighting them on the moon, and this is the laser version of the AR Marksman. Next up is the Space Trooper, or the Weltraumsoldaten, also equipped with the Laser Sturmgewehr 66. These guys are much more heavily protected than the Space Marine, and they have a heavier power pack, bulkier armour. It looks like these guys can definitely go outside on the moon, but then again, we never see them outside, so I'm not sure if they actually can, I'm just presuming. They're also equipped with a sensor array on their backpacks to probably widen their field of range for their capability of use. And other than that, they don't really have much deviation from the standard Moon Marine. Next up for the Mond Commandants, or the Moon Commanders. These guys are equipped with the P60 pistols. They come in two variants, one with a more pilot-looking uniform that we see can also fly spacecraft, as we see in the New Order, and another one that also has only appeared in my mod for Men of War, but they also look quite cool, so I thought I'd include them in this list. And this one looks a lot more official, equipped with a gas mask and a greatcoat, and also white overalls, opposed to the red ones of the ones we see in the game. And they also have some sensory enhancing augmentations on their back and heavier armour. These guys definitely can't go outside on the moon, their suits are not pressurised, and they still have the Admiral cap. It looks like they can maybe survive a couple more minutes longer than just a standard person. Next up is the Super Weltraumsoldaten, or the Moon Super Soldier. These guys are basically the same as the normal super soldiers, except they're equipped with a massive oxygen tank on their backs to hopefully, again, let them stay a little while longer on the moon. These guys are SS, and they're being developed by the SS on the moon, but for now they're just used to patrol on the moon. I would say there's not much deviation from their normal European counterparts, as they're the same variant. On to Venus. First of all, we have the Venus Truppen, equipped with the STG 1960. These guys appear on the Nazi Venus base, and these guys are used to patrol on the inside of the base, because as I say, it looks like their suits are very thin, and they're just orange versions of their French and American counterparts. These guys, however, are SS. They have SS marks on their helmets, and they are primarily equipped for surviving outside on Venus for a very short time, a bit like the Moon Soldiers, so they can go outside on their environments for a little while, but before they will have to go back. Next is the Venus Truppen Elite, which is also equipped with the STG 1960, and these guys do look like they can go outside on Venus for a little while longer. They have more heavier armour, baggier overalls, and overall more protective stance. Their armour is very similar to the just standard Venus Truppen and the Truppen Elite counterparts back on Earth, which I'll get to in a second. Again, they're just an orange version of the Truppen Elite, which we'll get to in a second. Next is the Venus Truppen Commandant, which is again an orange version of the Moon Marine Sergeant or Commander that I showed a minute ago. Then again, they're just equipped to maybe survive outside for a couple more minutes than a normal person could, so that's, like 30 seconds outside on Venus. I think they generally look quite cool. Again, they're equipped with a P60, and they're very lightly armoured as well, so they're not that hard to take out. Next is the Truppen Elite, which we only ever see on Venus in Hitler's office. They're equipped with the SG 1960, and they are very heavily armoured, and again, they're just a grey version of the Venus Truppen Elite earlier. They're very heavily armoured, as I say. They're used for protecting Hitler, which must be, in the Nazi war machine, quite a high occupation to have. As to quite esteemed soldiers, they are SS, although I'm not sure if they have the marks on their helmets. They do have a white V though, so that's similar to their service on Venus, and they're equipped with a similar kind of protection guard that's similar to the shotgun troopers, although it's not as present. Next is the Luftwaffe troopers, or the Alpha Schutz. These guys come in two variants, one with a star helm and goggles, one with a cap. They both have the STG 1960, and they wear white overalls equipped with combat boots and pressurised shoes, it looks like. And they have black stripes on their clothes, probably to symbolise that they are part of the Luftwaffe. They are also SS as well. These are the London Nautica, as well as what I'm guessing to be airfields and just other stuff in general that has stuff to do with aircraft, aerospace, and the Luftwaffe. Next up we have the Hazmat Troopers. These are basically just yellow versions of the normal French and American Nazi soldiers. They're equipped in New York, and they're deployed there. They're not immune to radiation, but they seem to have a higher tolerance to it, because if you shoot them in the games, they don't immediately die of the very intense radiation that's in New York. As I say, they're equipped with the STG 1960. They're fairly lightly armoured as well. They're not much different to their other counterparts. The Hazmat Shotgun Trooper is basically the same as the other shotgun troopers from America and France. and as I say, they're just the yellow version of whatever they've got, so there's not much variation to them there. Also, now we get to the Truppen Elite version for the Hazmat Troopers. These guys, there's again not much variation to them at all, they're just yellow version of the Truppen Elite. Well guys, that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and just comment in the comment section if you like this video and you want to see more. See you next time.